Woo! All right, everyone. We're back on the air with the next episode of the Raiders Rambles. I am Jolt, chief host of the show, and joining me is none other than my co-host, Avira.
Hello, everyone. Hope you're doing hope you're having a great day. I know we're all
I
under
mean,
quarantine right now, and everything is looking spectacular. So if you're bored, just tune in, and we shall have a blast.
oh yeah. I mean, we've got hours, hundreds of hours easily of material that you can always use. Not to mention, I think there's reason to be all a bit more, cause for celebration. I mean, what time of the year is it though? Really? It
Well,
is
it's Good Friday,
Easter,
of
my
course.
dudes.
Yes, it's
Yes.
Good Friday. We're gonna have Easter in a couple days. It's gonna be great.
And I
April
know what you're
10th.
thinking. I know the festivities are all closed down, but no reason to say that you can't celebrate it from home. Because hey, I mean, in my neck of the woods, the Easter bunnies be making the rounds.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's that. So
Well, that's
next
good.
on the show is Beowulf.
Yes, Jackalope Trades Master of Nothing. I'm not quarantined yet, so
I don't know. Can you go out? Can you not go out? Can I, go out without any safety
Jackalope Trades
precautions?
Master of Nothing. I mean, I basically go out with like a mask on. That's pretty much it, and a bottle of hand sanitizer.
Hey, gotta keep everything safe.
I mean, yeah. I mean, most cases are a long ways away, but they're slowly crouching into the rural areas of America.
Yeah, just take it a day at a time, and then when all thing breaks loose.
Watch the train wreck.
I guess that's the best thing we can do at this time. So, that brings us to our next host, Inu.
Hey, I'm your grumpy gray muzzle here. Lock me up in quarantine and just see how grumpy I can get.
Okay.
Yeah. Next on the show is Earth's Power.
Hello, guys. Thank you for having me again. I'm quarantined still, home, trying to stay safe, and yeah.
I think you're lucky at least New Jersey's not having it as bad, is it?
Well, I don't know. I think it's getting starting to get bad. I think.
Yeah, but you
Slowly,
consider
'cause- just 'cause,
how many people are spilling over from New York and that.
Yeah, I think so. I think a couple of people are dying here and there. I'm not sure exactly how many people, but it's probably not as bad as New York though. But
I guess that's the only thing I can hope for.
it's just what's expected. I just gotta stay home and I'll be safe. So.
Alright. Next on the show is Sparky.
Hi guys,
Hi.
How's Texas holding up?
it's going good. Just everybody, well, for quarantine, people can go outside still, but you have to keep distance from other people.
Yeah, like you've seen it all. Like some supermarkets have on their lines, they put like these X marks for safe distancing.
Oh, that's the social distancing thing. That's going on kind of everywhere.
Yeah, I think so.
You're not locked in a cage called your house.
Yeah. So, in the spirit of before we start, like getting into the spirit of Easter, Scorch says, Monday Paw Pet Show will be on this weekend. They will surely have chocolate bunny deaths again this year. How does somebody destroy a chocolate bunny?
Ears first. Always ears first.
Always.
Yep.
Aww. Then again, you know what? Some people, I mean, also before this, though, I also been hearing that the Easter Bunny might be considered essential.
Yes. Didn't the government of New Zealand say that?
I mean, here in Australia, we saw an Easter Bunny making the rounds in a car to visiting families that were affected by.
Oh, okay. So it was Australia. I knew it was either Australia or New Zealand, where the Easter Bunny is an essential worker. Whoa.
I'll let you in on a little secret. I could technically become my own Easter Bunny, and the only thing I need is a nub tail.
No, but then
Yeah,
you'd like hoard all the chocolate.
that's fair.
Nah, you'd like hoard all the chocolate eggs in like scurry up into a tree. Like, no, they're mine.
All right, so let's get on with the biggest item of the show, and I know it's one. Oh wait! Whoa, here's an odd one. That I go for its throat first. It's normally where the thickest chocolate is.
Oh, you
Wow.
savage!
Well,
That's savage.
Go right for the jugular.
Well, I mean, that way it's dead, and you'll have many pieces.
Yes. Oh my god.
Yeah, so good. So let's get to the the best, the most important item of the show. It's a double-edged sword because one, it's good news for us. Two, it's gonna make some things a little bit boring. So, and I'm gonna hit you with the best thing, the most breaking news ever. Bernie is out.
Bernie Sanders. Oh my goodness.
Furries burn down their own houses, basically, or pretty close to it,
Furries
because
super
they're
salty.
raging so
Yeah.
hard.
Now, just so everyone knows, we here at the Furry Raiders are not politically associated. However, we do recognize some crazy bonkers nonsense when we see it. And Bernie
Yeah.
Sanders is one of those bonkers nonsense.
I think so. Yeah.
I want socialism, but I'm gonna drive an Audi car around, and I'm gonna go in and make millions of dollars being a capitalist.
The top
Really?
1% of the top 10% control 90% of the wealth in this country.
And I'm one of them, but I'm not gonna tell any of you that.
I am
it's
once
funny,
again asking for your financial support so I can continue to line my pockets and finance my house collection.
Yeah. You know what's funny? When I was in Anthony, New England, in Boston back in February, there was a Bernie Sanders protest. I think we spoke about this.
Right.
Yeah,
Socialism.
all these
Some people like
pro-Bernie
we
furries.
want. Some
Hold on.
people like we want socialism, but then again, they got the money in the world, so they can just go and buy a Lamborghini.
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
that's
it was
that's
just
campaign
weird.
socialist breed today. But yeah,
Oh my goodness.
but
it was
dude,
so,
like
it was so
imagine
weird.
if you're right, like imagine that New England story. Like you can argue says this rally did not age well.
No, it didn't. It did not age well at all. They were walking around with like rent control now or free rent or whatever the hell they were doing. And yeah, well, we were talking about this back in February, but I wonder how they
And-
feel now.
Yeah, and not to mention, I got some more articles that also did not age well. Remember when when KQ Ed basically ran furries for Bernie Sanders? That did not age well.
Ugh.
Ha! Ha!
Oh gosh,
Oh, that's hilarious.
that's cringy.
Man, I already know who that rat fursuiter is.
Yes, we do.
Gosh, you do.
We're not gonna say the name, not to because we're to glorify the support of that sort of thing. But yeah, but you also know what didn't age well when Samantha Bee ran the full frontal segment on furries, and then they asked the question, "Who would you vote for?" And you can count on the video how many furries said Bernie Sanders.
Yeah, why? Are they brainwashed? Are they like just
No, I think
millennials?
it's because they're just so lazy. They just want other people to do stuff for them.
Well,
I just
it has to
wonder,
do with the
why?
liberal mindset. When you
Yeah, it
get
does,
to be
it really
so
does.
crazily liberal that socialism is like your next step, it's not healthy.
No,
okay,
it's
if
not.
you raise your volume, can you turn
Yeah,
up the volume?
just like what Mark Dye said. It's like what's worse than coronavirus? The liberal pathogen.
All right, so a couple of other little things. Beowulf Triple K says your Bernie impression is perfect.
I believe it. I can impersonate anyone if you give me enough time to actually think on it.
I think you got to wonder too, like when how easy is it just to get inspiration to imitate Bernie?
I drive an Audi TT, live in a multi-million-dollar house, and I want you to pay $50 to me so that you can all go and pay for my living expenses, even though I'm not going to give you a red cent, like how I would run your government.
Okay.
Yeah. And speaking of which, wouldn't you also agree Bernie sounds like that guy from Beavis and Butthead.
Yeah, you won't. That's fine.
Like here's also here's the thing too. I know. Bernie Sanders has washed out, but there is still hope for all the people who wanted Bernie to win in this race. I'll show you how. You remember this picture?
That's the exact one I was talking about.
Oh gosh.
Bernie
Oh,
2016.
boy.
Turns out he lost. Now 2020. Ta-da! And now today, since the recent events, Bernie 2024.
Wow.
If he
He's not gonna be. He's
managed
not gonna be
to
alive.
survive that
That's
long.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the
Gonna be
thing,
alive.
isn't it?
Yeah.
You got to be realistic. Like,
All the
at-
presidential
especially-
candidates are getting like ancient, like legitimately ancient.
Even if like Joe Biden wins, I don't think he's gonna even live that long.
No, I don't think he
Joe
remembered.
Biden-
Like,
You wouldn't,
not
you
gonna
wouldn't be able to
win.
live long enough to fulfill his term.
he wouldn't even.
Joe,
You know,
Joe Biden's not gonna win. It's obvious.
Oh no, he's not. I'm
yeah,
just
yeah,
saying,
yeah.
if
It's
there's
obvious
that-
a chance, I'm saying.
It's obvious that Donald Trump is going to win
Right,
again in
right. Like,
2020.
we get that. Like, we get that. I know we want to jump to the logical conclusion, but you got to realize, like, I don't think even he could remember who, Joe Biden could remember who just dropped out.
Who knows? He doesn't know what the hell state he's in half the time.
He doesn't know what he's running for sometimes.
He doesn't. No, he doesn't. He has no
He
idea.
does it. That's the funny part. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm running for Senate. He goes, I'm running for Senate. No, you're running for president. Nuts.
Yeah, well, he's gonna be running against Corn Pop at the pool in 1967. That's what he'll be doing.
Guys, I love the live comment from Triple K. He's like the Queen of England. Bernie will never die.
No, no.
No, you might not be wrong on that one.
He could live to be like 100. Probably.
Well, that might be possible.
Might be, who knows?
We'll be dealing with him for like another 20 years.
Bernie
And he'll
2028,
be trying to
Bernie
get the
2032.
presidency for 20 years, and he'll fail every time.
Yeah, he will.
But you know what? If that's the case, I gotta hand it to him. He keeps trying. He never gives up. Way
Kinda
to
like
go,
Ron Paul.
Bernie.
Well, remember, Ron Paul runs for president every year, and so does Vermin Supreme. So good for them.
Oh man. I just hope Hillary doesn't run for the next election. Because
But I think we might have a third party president if that happens.
what?
If Hillary were to run next election.
Yeah,
Oh, please, she's done. They're all done.
yeah, I hope so.
Like,
Well,
here's
see-
the thing, like,
What?
and you know what? There's still hope for. Like, I would imagine too that the Sanders circles will say, "Oh, let's try and write him in." Dude, is this really how it works?
I mean, you would have to have such a coordination across the United States to write someone in like that. And there's no coordination with the left wing of the political parties of America right now. Like,
No.
they're literally trying to kill each other.
Right. Well, think about it like this too. Do you really think that the American people want a change in leadership? Like, how do you think Joe Biden would handle the coronavirus? Like, what is he gonna do?
Oh,
here, Jacko. What about this disease here? I don't know.
He called it.
He doesn't
No.
know
He's
anything.
gonna scream out and says, "We're dealing with the Wuhan virus."
Yeah, he has no idea. So, at least Trump knows his shit about this. He's been talking to all the experts. He's been doing briefings every day. Like, he knows what's up.
Take
Biden-
that,
He has no idea.
take that hydroxychloroquine just to help your
Nah. I
lung.
think Biden can't even pronounce it. Come on, be realistic here.
Take the hydroclobs and your diddle dallies, and then we're going to America.
No. It's like go sniff the hydrochlorobs in the face. Oh, you'll be cured.
I can't
Hydroxychloroquine.
see it. I almost feel bad for him. Like, the poor guy obviously has dementia, and they're still propping him up, and he has no idea what the hell's going on. Like, it's sad. It really is kind of sad.
I completely get you on that one. And now, I guess, if you can actually stomach it, I think you can agree that the fan base has taken to this really, really well. But now I won't show you. I won't pass the audio, but there they are.
Oh boy.
What is it with crazy
You know-
people these days having like a screaming meltdown?
Oh
It-
gosh.
You know, it's funny.
Welcome.
Remember the whole "scream at the sky" thing they did when Trump won? Screaming at the sky, because obviously the sky is at fault here. Yeah, that's what happens when liberals lose their mind. They just re-and-scream. They literally re-and-scream their brains out, or whatever brains they used to have.
Or
Well,
whatever.
at least usually
Or-
when they
or-
scream like that, you don't have to listen to them for a day or two after.
Or whatever their brain dead college professors told them.
Yeah, it's just really funny, just like to watch them just completely freak the heck out. Oh, what? He was our last hope. No, because like they all know that Biden is like a no-go. They know. I'm just
One
so
of those-
surprised that like so many furries actually like Biden. Like why? No, I'm sorry. Sanders. Like why?
Free
Because
stuff.
they want to get those fursuits for free if they work really hard.
Can you imagine socialism in like the furry fandom? Like,
It-
oh, can I just get a free commission? Yeah, sure.
Yeah, sure. You
Like,
come and
what?
clean go and clean a house, like across the street or whatever. Go and clean a house and show me that you did it, and I'll do that for you.
Crazy.
That's literally what communism basically is. Is like, oh, you work, and the government, because the government is totally blameless in everything that happens.
You know,
Controls who gets what.
you know something? I just realized, like, reminding me of that, of that one picture of Strode. You remember that one picture of Strode in a shopping mall, posing and Bernie in the background? God,
Yes.
I
imagine
remember
seeing
that.
Imagine seeing that again in this light now, especially after Bernie dropped.
Ha ha ha. That's funny.
Communism. Communism, where the government takes control of your life.
I mean, dude. Also, you gotta realize now, this is the era of celebrating those dank Sanders memes.
Yes. I'm waiting for all the dank memes to happen.
Yeah, exactly. Because here's a joke. No refunds. Do you guys remember how much Bernie spent on his campaign?
A lot.
$160 million.
It was $27.78 per donation. Thank you for that.
That went to
$27.
pay for my gas in my car. That went to pay for my house. That went to pay for my electricity bill, my water bill,
Which
my
house? He
my
has three of them.
taxes,
He has 3 houses. Which
Oh,
one are you
oh.
talking about?
bills. They went for all of them.
Oh my god. Yeah, right? Oh my god.
$5 to this one, $5 to this one, $5 to this one.
Oh,
we
and the
lost
last thing,
it.
just to wrap this up. Hashtag burn return.
Okay, yeah. Like Jesus, right? He's just gonna come out of nowhere.
The second coming of Burn, the third coming of the Burn, the fourth coming, the fifth coming. He shows up
So
more
Burn,
than Jesus.
Burn can't come anymore because, well, he ceased to exist, and he's now in a decorated frickin' memorial, kept perfectly well because he's a wax sculpture now, like Lenin or Stalin? No, Lenin.
Oh, yes.
Yeah,
Yes
Lenin.
to both.
Well, technically, Lenin is still alive. No. I'm sorry. I'm thinking about North Korea. Their eternal president. It's the only necrocracy in the entire world.
What?
That
Yeah.
means like a dead leader is still in charge. It's bonkers
this
over
point- I can't wait. Can you guys not wait until the months ahead? I know I can't.
there. Oh, I'm looking forward to it.
I'm looking forward to the further train wreck.
Yes. I'm looking forward to partying out after the beer virus.
Yes, it will be great because you want to know what's going to happen.
Go on.
Once the virus stops, the furry world's going to go nuts, and there's going to be all these conventions in 2 months of the year.
I mean,
Or
here's
all
my-
the conventions that happen in the final couple months of the year are literally going to be so packed with people.
Mhm.
I don't
They're
know.
going to
man.
set crazy records.
But are they? Because like right now, Anthrocon is still not budging. They still want to have their convention in like July in Pennsylvania.
Well, I don't know if Anthrocon's necessarily taking the right boat because they're like, we think it's gonna blow over.
I'm not
They're
going to
banking.
I mean, here's the thing: you got to
They're
realize,
banking on it blowing over.
like, here's the thing: the June cons are in very big danger of shutting down. The July cons are gonna start feeling the heat at this point in time. This is April, by the way, and August cons are still in the comfort zone. So yeah,
We haven't even hit the peak yet, though. Like we don't even know how bad this is gonna get.
That's the thing is, it's just like most people are expecting this to be the peak month, and then they're like, well, maybe it'll be June, maybe it'll be August. No one knows when the peak's actually going to happen.
I'm not telling anybody what to expect. I'm just saying that this is what I expect. I expect it to peak in November, believe it or not.
I think that's an awfully
I mean,
pessimistic
some people said this
projection, don't you?
that basically like the shelter in place, not or kind of thing, might go on until they actually have the vaccine. Like they won't release people out until they get the vaccine, which would be spring of next year.
Jesus.
Well,
All right. Yeah, but look at it. Like we've still got hope. We've still got a lot of things ahead of the line and a lot of uncertainty. So just take one day at a time.
Uncertainty is what keeps us alive right now.
Yeah, true.
It's like
So-
moving from Windows 7 to Windows 8 to Windows 10. It's a new world that we're just going to have to live in. Just learn to use it.
The hydroxychloroquine has also helped people as well who had the virus.
So
Yeah, hopefully.
let's move on to the next item of the show, and that is over the death of another comic. Batman is ruined. So is Joker. Everybody close up shops and close up comics because
Yep.
this-
The comic industry's dead. Just burn it at the stake right now, and we'll leave.
I agree.
Okay.
ruined.
So
Agent Bruce, Antifa Joker, and Selena.
Ugh.
Yep.
why?
Just burn it to the ground. Just burn the entire franchises to the ground and walk away.
Forget furries ruin everything. Liberals ruin everything.
Yeah.
There's
a
the
lot of
problem.
furries are liberals, sadly.
Yep, exactly.
A lot of
That's
furries are
why
not
the furries
anything.
ruin everything, because 90% of them are liberal as crap.
And not to, I mean, I know, and now they've added openly gay Alfred, and now they've really tried to co-opted the whole Batman characters in a comic series called Gotham High. It's a mix between Batman and Gossip Girl, but more LGBTQ alphabet soup sandwich friendly.
Oh gosh.
Okay. Wow.
Boy.
Yes,
So
let's
brave
change
and stunning
the
and strong.
entirety of a franchise to the people who are complaining about said franchise.
Why? I don't understand why these people don't learn their lessons. I mean, look what happened to Ghostbusters. Look what happened to Star Wars. When
But
you
they
get
don't
woke-
care. They still made money. They're getting paid for ruining a franchise.
This is sick, man. This is really sick.
You know,
Like,
So,
y-
and
y-
wait,
y-
what's this poly relationship about with the Joker and Selena?
I mean, yeah, these three: Asian Batman, Antifa Joker, this stinger, and this girl. Yeah, look at how well that's gonna work out. Add a woman to the mix, and and this Alfred just won't have it.
No.
I have to agree with one of the live comments. Just make new comics. Stop changing the original.
No,
You see, the way it looks to me is they've, like you said, Joe, they've changed
Right.
everything, just about everything of this comic. All right, why not change the name too and make it a new comic? Why are you messing with my old one?
right?
Because
I mean,
they don't care. They're like, oh, like I saw something that
Also,
was-
they can
it-
attach a name. Well, they can
was-
attach
it was-
this is Batman, like that.
But
like
isn't Joker an anarchist that harms innocent people?
he doesn't. I mean, he doesn't necessarily feel that anyone's innocent, but he's an anarchist.
Right.
He doesn't care who he hurts. He just
Hey.
like
He blew up a fire truck and almost bring Gotham to its knees.
blew up a hospital too.
Yeah.
Right.
It's called Gotham High because there was high when they made it.
Maybe.
High on
Yeah,
something, that's
right?
for sure.
Oh yeah, I think I can
actually,
agree with you.
I
Perhaps
actually
Okay,
like
I
read
think I can
stoner
agree with you
millennial or
because
some
this
crap.
one, here's the next part that you're gonna like. Melissa de la Cruz, who really knows nothing about Batman, suggests she just wants to abolish heteronormativity, and so on and so on. And this time it's the Joker that's the good guy because of his anti-capitalist views.
Oh, of course he is. Of
Yay!
course.
like, people don't understand. There's decades of lore behind these characters. They just don't care to actually open up any of the comics or any of the books and actually read it.
Yeah, literally decades, and they can like rehash some of the old stories from like the 1980s and shit. Like they could really do that. And
But
do some
I
pretty
read
cool
I read
stuff.
a comment. It was like an article or something that they were talking about the Star Wars episode or the new Star Wars Rise or not Rise of the Skywalker. Is that the last one?
The Rise of Skywalker.
Yeah,
the last one?
whatever the last one was. And they're like, we literally had zero creative input on this. We couldn't go to lore or anything, so we had to completely write everything from new.
What?
What?
Disney owns.
Do
the
you
lore.
know
What?
how much lore there actually is for
That is
this?
such- Oh,
Yep.
dude, that's such bullshit. There's so much
That
lore
is
out
big
there.
shit. Yep.
Like, I literally had to Alt F4 out of Chrome because I was that close to wanting to put a hole in my monitor.
I don't blame you for that one. It's pretty cancerous. Like,
You know,
but
like,
hey, there's
There's
one thing. but
hundreds of books.
yeah,
And then
but
The
there's one thing-
Mandalorian doing fantastic now.
But
Because
and
they
the
actually
Yuuzhan
followed lore.
Vong. Why didn't they use the Yuuzhan Vong? I mean, come on. I don't know if anyone knows what that is, but it's like a major story arc. It's like really cool stuff they could have used in the last movie. Like,
They just
oh my
chose to
goodness.
here's
I
the
know.
thing.
That's so
You
lame.
know what? You came up with all these new things. Kudos for you for all the creativity, whether it's good or bad. You came up with new things to rewrite the story. What you should not call it Star Wars. You should not call it Batman Joker, and you make it a different name. From the creators of Batman, you still have the same name that you've been banking on that's been making you all this money. From the creators of Disney's Star Wars, a new comic called blah blah blah. Kudos to you for coming up with all these things, for all that creativity. Don't call it Star Wars. Don't pretend it's. Oh man, I can't even.
Yeah, I know. But here's the thing: I only have one item of soul lace for you guys, and that's they will never take away Phoenix's Joker.
They won't?
No, because that thing is too thingo that they will never ever, try to touch because of how much thingo sold it caused.
Yeah. Yeah, you mean like the actual, like the Joker movie. That one.
Yeah.
Yeah. No one's
Remember,
touching
they were literally crying and begging them not to make a sequel to Phoenix's Joker.
that. Yeah, because all the controversy behind that. I don't even know why it's controversial. What, like... I don't even know. I'm not going to get into it now. but-
Right, but here's the last part of this new creation, this abomination called Gotham High.
Oh gosh.
Oh
No
yeah.
cisgendered white male heroes, and so and so.
Oh, no cisgendered white male heroes. Amazing.
Oof.
Well,
God
we
forbid
can
you
tell
have a
someone's
straight white
pushing an
male.
agenda.
God
Yep.
forbid you have one of them. It's got to be a black trans woman of color, right? It's got to be one of those.
And, and an Antifa thingo, and a openly gay, and a...
Yeah, what
Yeah,
the hell
even-
is this?
And if it's not that, it's probably non-binary or whatever.
Right.
They're
Here's
trying
the
to
thing.
put.
Here's the
Yeah.
thing. Petilli and Dela Cruz revealed they have plans to further diversify the newly reimagined Batman characters, saying, "We have big plans for Poison Ivy and Harvey."
Wait, who's Harvey?
That's such a
Poison Ivy is gonna be
masculine
trans.
name.
Oh,
No, Poison Ivy is going to identify as like transplant.
Oh god.
Yeah, she's gonna be.
No,
She's gonna be
no,
trans. birch tree.
No, it's gonna be an asexual trans or not trans. It's gonna be a asexual non-binary.
Yeah, she's gonna be plant sexual.
Yeah,
That's what she's gonna identify as.
Oh god.
like
And-
See,
what-
this is why you do not give your intellectual property to somebody who has no knowledge about it. Like, remember, it's been said, one of the authors, Dela Cruz,
This is
has-
why when someone offers you like $600 million to purchase your comic's name, you write in a legal contract, a legally binding document, that you're not allowed to do X, Y, and Z, aka exactly what these people are doing.
I wonder if like Kathleen Kennedy has ever actually watched the original Star Wars movies. Like, does she even know what she's doing?
No, I think that's exactly who that quote was from. That there's no canon lore to go from.
Right? Yeah, right. What? Yes, there is.
It's like, do you
Come on.
not know? There's literal books about what you made a movie about.
Nope. I don't see it. It doesn't exist.
Like
All those video games, all that. Nope. Doesn't it? Nope. I don't know.
yeah, that's why I was just like, it's a good movie, but it sucks.
right. But here's also okay. So we got some good live comments to read off. Peter Washu says, "Non-binary. Is this a new ice cream model?" I'll get to that. Like, there's only one ice cream seller that I can imagine to sell it: Ben and Jerry's.
I would do like that one chick did who had the tongue and face piercings all over the place and licked the top and then frickin' put it back.
Oh, God.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
Brahms.
Because Ben and
Wow.
Jerry's needs to burn to the ground.
Brahms ice cream.
Everything else is fine. Also, Tony says, "This is worse than the Snowflake and Safe Space from comics from Marvel."
I mean,
That's-
honestly, Tony, I thought that Safe Space and Snowflake, I thought that was a joke when I first saw it. I'm like, there's no way this can be real. They're trolling the SJWs. They have to be. It turns out it's a real thing. To my surprise,
Yeah.
it's crazy. It
And
has to
and
be a
they're
troll.
and they're just like, yep, well, I'm the captain now. And then you just watch the ship drive into the side of like a fuel tank.
Right. Well, think about this. How many kids out there do you think are going to look
Watch
up to Safe Space
the
and Snowflake and like admire them as heroes? Like that's a whole.
watch
Zero.
that boat sink as it strikes the side of the iceberg and sinks downwards from nose down.
No, I mean,
Like
like when
in
I
the
was
most
little, I
unironic
used to
fashion,
think Superman was cool. But like,
Why, right?
right? Why?
You can do things in tasteful ways,
Yeah.
like
I'm about to
Captain
go.
Planet. Captain Planet was a great cartoon, and it taught us about global warming, even though it doesn't exist, personally speaking.
Wait, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. It's. I mean, I love global warming if it's real. Like I love it. I'd rather be warm than cold.
Well, you know what happens every
Come on,
time
have any
there's
of
an
you
ice
watched
age? It's
Captain
global
Planet?
warming. Global warming happens after every single ice age. That's why the ice age stops.
Yeah. Well, we just ended an ice age like 10,000 years ago. We're technically still in one on the downturn.
Well, then
Yeah.
we need to have an anti-ice age campaign as well.
Well, remember like 30 years ago, like back in the 80s and 70s, they were talking about, oh, the ice age is coming, the big freeze, and now all of a sudden it's global warming. Okay.
Yeah, because
they
we've
don't
only
know.
been around for a couple thousand, years, been able to figure out everything, like industrialized in a couple thousand years. So, yes, we're responsible for ruining this entire planet in like 200 years.
Yeah, I'm sure it had nothing to do with
I'm
the
lucky.
sun.
Or at least I'm lucky living in the mid-south where I'm away from places like Washington and New York.
At least the heartland's gonna fare better than everywhere else, than the coasts. So,
I tell you what, the SJWs would literally have a brain aneurysm if they saw like the amount of fuel that farmers go through.
Yeah, but like
Yeah.
we need our farmers though. Like we need food.
Right.
They don't get it.
and remember, he who
my-
controls the
my-
food
my
controls the
neighbor-
population.
Yeah.
My neighbor has to get a delivery every week of like 1,000 gallons of farm diesel
Wow.
Yeah.
All right.
And-
So yeah,
and farm that much. He's a small time farmer.
it's a lot, man. It's a lot.
Like that, I know farms that literally go through tanker trucks of diesel a week.
That is a
Well,
lot.
thankfully, oil's very cheap right now. So
Yeah.
good for you.
Yeah,
Because
so
of the
farmers are
beehive.
like, hey, we can make a profit this year rather than, die.
Yeah. So, a couple of more live comments. Hey Joel, like, what do you think about the Joker? Yes, I know I've advocated it so much last year because it was the best thing that created Salt Mine. I loved the movie. I know you all did.
I love that
Of
as
course,
well.
I'd love to write a review of it. And it does say it's a more nuanced message. It's something that I recommend watching. It's the 2019 version of it with Phoenix as a star. And yes, there is a picture of me as the Joker.
yes, there is. I love it.
I mean, it goes without saying, I'll show it to you.
Cool.
But yeah, but just as a thing on this trip vote, this is it. This is it, Chief.
Oh, that's great. I love it.
All right. So in that case, there's still one little story that's still really related to this tangent. We can still have time for, and that is also another ruined intellectual property. Disney's Ducktales introduces a gay couple.
Oh gosh.
More SJW propaganda.
Oof, boy.
Let's shove it down the children's throat so they think it's something normal.
Yes, because children don't need to see entertaining cartoons and laugh. No, they need to know all about the sexualities and sexual preferences. And
This is really disturbing. You know, just think about this, just take a step back and look at what is actually happening.
Right. In this instance, in this episode, there's two characters who are wearing an "I'm with Dad" T-shirt, arrows pointing to each other.
I mean, it's really subtle, but it's also something that's normalizing it. It's like the reason that it's literally they're doing exactly what they said violent video games do to, everyone. Oh, they desensitize you to violence. Okay, well, guess what this is doing? Desensitizing you to something that's not normal.
grooming.
Okay, groomer.
Well, this is really crazy because like they're like really like
Aren't
trying to
these
sexualize
Boy
this
Scouts?
stuff.
Like, why are there chicks into Boy Scouts? Oh yeah, because that was totally allowed, but then, boys can't be in the Girl Scouts.
Well, not
Well-
the cisgendered heterosexual ones.
What,
No.
what about the non-binary?
No, girls
scouts?
had to be allowed into the Boy Scouts.
Yeah, they were because the Boy Scouts were losing money. In fact, they filed for bankruptcy about a year and a half ago.
That's because they allowed girls in, and like the main funders of them, which is not Amish,
Christian.
but not necessarily
I
Christian
wouldn't-
because they don't. I think they were Mormons,
They're
Mormon or something.
It's
Was
heresy,
like,
I
yeah,
tell
no,
you.
if you do this, we're gonna pull our funding, which is literally half of your funding. And they're like, we don't care, we enjoy liberals, and they allowed it in, and they're like, okay, well, here's all your money that we're gonna spend on other stuff because we're not gonna fund you anymore.
Right.
Aw.
Yeah, that sucks.
But- Yeah.
But like think about
Because
it.
they're like, oh, well, let's let girls into the Boy Scouts. Well, girls have the Girl Scouts, boys have the Boy Scouts.
Yeah, right. I mean that's a normal thing. But like
Where does it say in the name that boys are the only ones allowed in there?
in the name.
In
Boy
the
Scouts.
name.
The name.
Boy Scouts.
Duh.
Duh. Yeah.
But boys
So-
aren't allowed in the Girl Scouts, which is just like
Also in the name.
a
Girl
level of
Scouts.
mental gymnastics that I don't understand.
Yeah. So here's a bit about the commentary from the producer Frank Angones. He says, as with all of our characters, we had a lot of conversations about who Violet was and what her background was, and came up with this fun notion of her two enthusiastic, overly supportive dads who love being dads. And I'm well aware the queer representation through parents and background characters trope is an issue. And we've sort of stumbled backwards into a lot of heteronormative romances in the show due to legacy characters with pre-existing relationships.
And
That's
it's
really
not
no
fair
excuse.
it's not really fair to the kids who are watching this, because these producers are focused on their woke message rather than actually creating a fun and engaging story. They
I
just want to
agree.
promote their agenda instead of actually making a good cartoon. And that's really sad. I used to like DuckTales, but I don't know anymore.
I would watch the original '90s show.
Yeah, the originals. That's good. But this, like, I don't know.
Someone can give me
Yeah.
a valid logical answer as to why children need to know about this instead of watching cartoons for the sake of laughing.
Because they want to groom and condition them. That's what they do. Like with these child drag shows and all that crap. Trans kids, all that disgusting nonsense. That's what
And
they do.
that seems to be the only answer that has any logic to it.
It's
Unfortunately,
literally
that's
brainwash.
because
Like-
they're like Satanists. That's what they want to do. They want to brainwash these kids. They want to indoctrinate them with a sick and twisted ideology of LGBTQIWXYZ, whatever the hell alphabet.
Even the
what they wanna
church of even the Church of Satan wasn't that brainwashing. Their whole motto is "Think for yourself."
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's worse.
the thing is, liberalism is like, we want you to think exactly like all of us do.
Yeah,
That's wrong.
scary.
Free
Yeah.
thought is against our
Yeah,
rules. Free
Anton-
thought is illegal.
Anton LaVey and the Church of Satan is more sane than those people.
I hate to say that I actually have to agree with you on that. Yeah, Anton LaVey, like, you really think that like transgender story hour is going to happen in the Church of Satan? I don't think so.
No.
No, like that happens in liberal cities. That's where it happens.
Right.
Not just that, even
Transgender liberal hour, where a transgender person strips in front of like 8-year-olds.
They do that. They're
It's just like,
doing that. It's
why?
It's evil. It's
How is
evil.
this not illegal?
Right though? It should be.
Oh,
It should be.
because we're transgender. You're discriminating against us.
Oh, you transphobic! Such a bigot! How dare you?
No, I want my frickin' public areas to have only things that are safe for public areas happening
like,
in them.
Like with those drag time story hours, like half of those people are convicted pedophiles.
Oh,
At
God.
least.
yeah.
That's why
At
they're
least
not allowed to
50%.
go to schools. That's why they do it in libraries, because they're banned from the schools.
Oh
So
wow.
all these convicted pedophiles, these older men dress up as women with like Indian headdresses and shit, and they strip in front of kids
Oh,
as
gosh.
young as like 5 years old, and that's what they're doing. And it's
That's-
sick and evil and
that's
should be
messed up.
stopped.
That should be
And
stopped.
yeah. So, just to conclude off this segment, though, at least there's two solaces we can take of this. Disney and the comics industry are crashing and burning. And even, the Diamond, one of the publishers for comics, is still, late on the uptake for printing and monetary stuff. So, if this is the mantra they want to live by, well, expect us to say the greatest 4 words.
What?
Get woke, go broke.
Oh, I was gonna say 3 words. 3 words. Rest in peace. But
Well, yeah.
Get woke, go broke. Yeah, that's where it starts.
I've only got 2 words and 2 middle fingers.
Yep. Okay. Fair
That
enough.
works. That works.
And not just that, it's also the other side of the coin. Even if, let's say, this kid was accepting of LGBT, there'd still be problems because
Yeah,
true. The whole church and stuff, right? The camps.
There'll be a lot of problems down
As
the
a
line.
drag,
But that's
drag.
fine, yeah.
Oh yeah, the Desmond is amazing crap.
Yeah, that's scary.
That's stupid shit. Anyway,
But like, yes.
Next topic.
yeah, so I guess that's that for that. So now, the next topic is, of course, it's one that I know has been making such a roar that it's blown up. I think you probably know what I'm going to go on about.
Such a roar. Oh.
Yeah?
Oh,
It's
you
Tiger
fly
King.
doggo. Well, squirrel, but Yes, it's been making a roar. In this time of quarantine, we have Tiger King has been making the rounds of the most popular Netflix show right now because shit's getting crazy with this. Not only is this, providing some solace to those in quarantine, but also, I don't know if you guys realize, a couple days ago, it turned out that cats, that tigers in the Bronx Zoo are now testing positive with the coronavirus. And also lions. And so cats are the scourge of the world. This is what's happening, unfortunately. Yes, tiger test positive for coronavirus at Bronx Zoo.
We must put all the cats and the cat furries in self-isolation so that they do not contract the coronavirus and spread it even
I
further.
don't even want to think about how they got the disease because I can think of fucked up shit right now.
Probably a zookeeper because the zoo's been closed since March.
Guessed.
I think like March 17th or 16th. The zoo has been closed. But a zoo worker, because like the animals still have to be fed, right? So a zoo
Oh.
worker,
Yeah. They still
probably
gotta
got
care for
infected.
that.
Then they infected a tiger, and then the tiger got infected, and the tiger was coughing his brains out, and the poor thing. They tested, and it was positive for the virus.
Oh gosh.
Some
What the hell is it?
some zookeeper must have got tested positive and just accidentally passed it on to an animal.
Or
Yeah.
maybe he wasn't positive, or maybe he wasn't tested. He could have been asymptomatic, but given it to the tiger, and then the tiger got sick. But
According to this article, it tested positive for the one that makes the COVID-19.
I mean,
yeah, this is
SARS
This
or
is-
whatever it's called, SARS-2.
it's just the coronavirus. Well,
it's a branch of
COVID-19,
coronavirus that's
it
for
means-
animals. I'm thinking. I don't know.
Mutation.
Yeah, but they got it from a human. They got it from a human though, so it's zoonotic in that sense.
Yeah, if you think about it, the tiger's
so-
always been quarantined. How else is he going to get it?
I mean, no, I think the human gave it to the tiger.
Yeah,
That's what
exactly.
I think happened.
The tiger has been in quarantine. How else is the tiger going to get it from who else? From the human that feeds it.
Yeah.
But well, in regards to tigers, if this news was not crazy enough regarding the Tiger King, just yesterday, the president of the United States was asked a question about Joe Exotic, the star
Tiger
of
King.
Tiger King. Yeah, they said his son Don wanted Trump to pardon him because he's facing 22 years in prison after putting out a hit on some.
Apparently, it was the hit he put out. Like he allegedly made a threat to murder. Who was that lady again? That total, who?
I don't know. I think Alyssa or Lisa or something.
Something Baskins.
Yeah.
Baskin Robin?
She's like a hippie or something. But like they both own tigers, but like Joe Exotic thinks that she fed her husband to the tigers after she killed him.
Right.
And then he wanted to send an assassin after her and kill her.
Right.
And now he's
and there's one thing though. She said Joe Exotic was basically taking jabs about, that lady's ex-husband. Yeah, like you said, in thinking that the lady killed said ex-husband, and so on and so on.
And fed
of course,
them to the tigers.
Like it's been said that the lady is literally going after Joe. Caroline Baskin. Carol. That's the one.
Oh, Caroline. Okay, yeah.
Carol Baskin. Right.
Oh my
Yeah.
goodness.
And then it's been said some people certainly believe that she killed her ex-husband.
I think that's the reason why that TV show, that reality show, is getting popular, because they want to see what happened to her husband.
Like, there's a lot of. It's not just that, but there's a lot of eccentric
crazy.
characters and a lot of drama involved in it too. Remember, you gotta remember, Joe Exotic isn't your ordinary, zookeeper or exotic pet owner, because he's a gay man who's had like five husbands in the past.
And he has also been married to like 3 men at once. Like,
Okay, if you
I think he
guys
had like 2 husbands in the show.
if you guys were to watch this short little video that Caroline's husband put out, and he keeps on repeating, if you only spend 1 hour with her, you'll see how gentle and how wonderful my wife is, and blah, 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 blah. Funny story, I'll make it really short. I've spent many hours with her in Florida, in Tampa, at the Big Cat Rescue, when my uncle, a used car dealership, bought a Jeep and a Dodge Dakota from her because they were selling them.
Oh
And-
shit, you know her? Wow.
Yeah. I
Dude.
don't know her personally, but I've seen her, I've met her, we've talked with her, and they made me drive the Dodge Dakota because I'm the only one who drove a stick shift.
Oh my
Wow.
goodness.
Wow. What's the odds?
But I've spent more than an hour with her, and I can say this because it's only an opinion. I thought she was nuts. And to be honest, to be
Wow.
fair, I haven't watched The Tiger King, but just from the previews, I can tell that Exotic would, in my opinion, probably be nuts as well.
Oh my goodness. Dude, you know what's crazy? In South Carolina, one of my friends who lives there, I just talked to her yesterday. Joe Exotic Zoo is right down the road from her. And she's
Oh,
been
wow.
there like several times.
No kidding.
And, yeah, like Jeff was there. Like Jeff is like the other guy who like runs the zoo and kicked Joe out. It's like a whole crazy story. But yeah, like my friend like lives right there and has been to his own personal zoo before. It's
Wow.
crazy.
That's crazy.
Well, I've
And
been.
now the president is being asked about if he's gonna pardon Joe for this hit on this person. This is nuts, man. This is nuts.
If you've never been around a tiger before face to face, the only thing I need to say is when I went there to go pick up the trucks, there were
Yeah.
2 tigers behind like a 50-foot fence, and then there was another 10-foot fence in front of that.
Oh, so Enu's been there.
And so I'm standing about, I want to say about a good 25, 35 feet away from the tiger. It didn't even roar. It was just like a low pitch, and man, ice ran up my spine.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, tigers are scary. They're huge.
Yeah,
like,
I would imagine.
Man, what a
like,
scary
that can
sound.
obliterate you. Like, yeah, tigers are no
Beautiful, but scary.
joke. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I love tigers. I draw them all the time. Hashtag see my art on FA. But yeah, like tigers are cool. They really are. But like they're scary beasts. Like I don't want to get close. Like I like things like cobras. I think cobras are cool. I really like snakes.
Hmm.
But I'm not about to go pet some cobra.
In all
I'm not gonna
fairness-
get bit. I don't want to. I'm not stupid.
In all
Yeah.
fairness, this was a long time ago that I was there. They say she mistreats the tigers. I wasn't there long enough to investigate or do anything myself. But you know what?
There's a lot of
they
evidence
they
in the
looked okay.
documentary. Well, there's a lot of evidence in the documentary Tiger King that she does mistreat her animals. Unfortunately, she keeps them in these cages and they're underfed and all this shit.
Well,
Yeah,
she's
it's-
PETA. She's with PETA, isn't she?
I don't think she's with PETA. She basically runs this thing under the guise of rescuing, like a big cat rescue.
No, but
Something
but
along
she's
those
like a
lines.
hypocrite though, because she yells at Joe Exotic for having his tigers in cages, and yet she keeps her own tigers in cages. So she does the same damn thing, and yet she's all like, "Oh, I'm all official. I advocate for animal rights." Bullshit. No, she doesn't. She does the same thing. She's
If
just
So did Enu actually? Wait a minute. Did Enu actually say that he actually saw her?
Yep.
Huh.
Yeah, my uncle bought a couple of used vehicles from her, and they
From
made
Caroline
me drive one of them.
Baskin's zoo, not Joe Exotic Zoo. Because
Correct.
I mean, to be clear, right? Joe Exotic Zoo is in Oklahoma, and Caroline's is in South Carolina, wasn't it?
yeah, it
So-
was in South Carolina. No, there is a zoo there. That's run by Jeff, the guy that was on the show that kicked Joe out of his own zoo. It might not have been Joe's zoo, but there is one in South Carolina, like literally like right down the road from where my friend lives. And the guy Jeff runs it. That's the guy
So-
that ran the zoo with Joe Exotic.
The one that I was at, the one that I seen Caroline at, was at the Big Cat Rescue in Tampa, Florida, or it might have been
Yeah, the
Clearwater.
one in Florida. That's the one where the hippie grandma. That's where she's at. But yeah,
I don't know
there
if
is
it
one
was
in South
Tampa or the
Carolina,
next
too.
city over.
There's like a few like the show. I think they showcase like a dozen different tiger owners, like private zoos and all that kind of weird shit. Yeah,
Right.
like it's a crazy show, man. It's really crazy. Like I haven't seen most of it. I've seen like clips. It's bonkers. Absolutely bonkers.
Is Joe from Florida originally?
I don't even know. Maybe.
Because if that's the case, oh man, I'm watching it tonight. 2 words: Florida man.
Yeah, right. Maybe, probably, right? Probably. I
It
don't
wouldn't
know.
surprise me if part of it is. Yeah.
I mean, I know. Like, what are the odds you'd bump into one of those? And hey, what are the odds, huh?
Yeah, right. So
Yep.
this guy Jeff used to work with Joe. He kicked him out of his own zoo. He made his another zoo. But like Jeff is a mean guy. I guess like my friend said that he was okay when they met. Like it was not really a thing. But that was a few years ago. Of course, now
Right.
that the documentary came out, now everything is shit hit the fan, and now like people are going to jail over this, and like they're asking the president about pardons during the coronavirus press conference. Like, dude, like I don't even know what timeline we live in.
only
It's
can
fucking
say-
weird. It's really weird. Why is like a news anchor asking the president about, Joe Exotic.
Well, it could be, but I won't go to conclusions. But it could be that that lady killed her husband, and she's trying to get Joe in prison.
Here's the thing: it's no secret that Carol Baskin wants to take down Joe Exotic no matter what cost. Now, here's the $1 million question we've got to answer is Joe Exotic innocent?
I don't think so. I really don't. I think he actually did hit on her. I don't think he's innocent. I really don't.
Right. I don't know. Now, I don't know about the whole. He was the death threats he made that actually got him a couple. That thing was fun. That could have got him a couple of years.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
He's got two of those, and then he's also got 4 years for something to do with animal cruelty. So, I'm not sure. I don't want to play hypothetics at this point. As to which charges get dropped and which charges stay.
Well, here's the $1 million question, though. Do you think that Joe Exotic is a furry?
No.
No.
He's just a lover of big, wild, exotic cats.
He's a Florida man.
Just one of them like wackos that has too much money and just buys animals because he can.
Here's the thing: he can because he can. Sure, Joe's an interesting character. I'd love to watch Tiger King at some point and see what the whole fuss is about, and see whether or not he's clear of all these the death threats he made, because that's the one thing yeah. But
you know what? We're all in quarantine. Might as well watch it.
Well, yeah, exactly. That's why it's so popular. It's like the #1 featured on Netflix right now because it's like the craziest shit, and we have nothing else to do. So, no new movies are being made at the moment. Nobody's filming anything because, of course, they're not.
And 5 hours of Florida Man. I don't know if I can handle it.
Apparently, here's the thing. Joe Exotic is from Kansas, apparently.
Oh, even better.
Okay.
Like, everyone thinks Florida Man is like this great thing. You've never seen what good old boys get down to, like in rural America.
Oh,
some of the stuff I've seen makes Florida Man look like, your average Joe.
I don't know, man. The last couple of shows that I watched from 2, he had a couple of stories on Florida Man, and they were just hilarious.
Yes, it was. I agree.
Two Griffin.
I'm not saying they're not hilarious, but some of the stuff they do is nothing compared to what some of the good old boys do.
I don't doubt that sort of stuff.
I legitimately have a distant friend of a distant relative who knows how to make C4.
Oh man!
Let's not get
that's
into
an
this
FBI,
again.
Thing there.
Yeah,
like
whoa.
he sent a washing machine about 500 feet up into the air because they were having a bonfire. Well, let's see what happens when we do this. Boom! Oh, okay. There's bits and pieces now, far above everything else. And the funny thing is that you just see this quad just take off. And then, like 3 seconds later, the washing machine goes straight up, and you're just like, "Oh, this is what they're doing." All right,
I made my own rocket ship, and I clean my clothes.
They're trying to do something. I don't know what it is, but they're trying to do something.
But yeah. But before we do, I'd love to close down this segment with some memes of the Tiger King.
Yes.
Yet another child star ruined by drugs and alcohol.
Oh no! Oh no!
I love it.
No, that's what happened. Oh god!
All right, and here's the other one: Tiger King of the Hill.
Love that so much.
That looks about right for most of Oklahoma, except for the Tigers.
Oh, by the way, both of those guys are his husbands, and the person on the wall there with the bullet holes is the hippie grandma, the
That's
animal
good.
rights activist that he allegedly put a hit on. For those of you who are not looking at this amazing meme, please
Tiger
do
King of the
check
Hill.
this out.
In
Carl
Oklahoma,
Baskin
King of
was
the
a
Hill,
hip
yeah.
was caricatured as a hippie.
Oklahoma is just possibly like 2.5 miles from here where I'm at.
Right, but also this picture, this meme, is modeled after Joe's husband's. Some other stuff.
Yeah.
Wow, like
They-
my goodness,
They don't have a
it's
lot
just
of teeth left, do they?
yeah. But I think they've restored him though.
King of the Hill.
So
They did, yeah, but at the time that it was filmed,
it's
like,
great.
well,
It's great. I mean, if nothing else, you might as well give Tiger King a chance. Like it's
Is
currently
that
the
the-
biggest hit on Netflix, and I know some of you.
Isn't
like
that isn't that the sequel to the Propane Man of Texas?
Oh, I don't
yeah.
know.
What? Hank Hill from King
Yeah,
of the
Hank Hill.
it's like a
Hank
meme
Hill.
based on that. Yeah.
Sell propane and propane accessories.
Accessories. Yep. I love that show.
No, that's great.
Yeah, that boy. ain't
Anyway,
right.
Is there another
So-
subject we're gonna do? Or no?
Oh, Bobby.
yeah, we've got more than enough time, and because why not? Let's stretch this out a little bit further because I know we're a tiny bit behind schedule, but it's fine.
It's fine.
We've got
It's
time for the
free.
last
Yeah.
story of the day, and
And
it's
why
back
not?
to our.
Everyone's in quarantine. We have all the time in the world. Yeah, you
Yep,
got nowhere to
exactly.
be.
Yeah,
Alright,
I know what you mean, so
Here's the last story of the thing, and it's going back to our Get Woke Go Broke theme.
Yep.
And it involves one Patreon.
Oh God, oh my goodness.
See, now what they just did, they've made a couple of a blog post and another video of them actually desperately begging creators to return after all the shady stuff they've done to them.
yeah.
Go woke, go broke, go woke, go broke.
Read the sentence one by one. Like, look at them. Look at their try, and then you can just kind of evaluate: are they trying too hard at this? Are they,
They're trying to be
is
Uh,
it hard?
They know they messed up, but they don't want to apologize.
Nope.
Well, they're trying to be uplifting. It says, in difficult times like these, humanity leans on artists to lift us up and connect us.
Yeah,
Nope.
you
Musicians
canceled
performing to
everyone.
their fans over live
Mhm.
streams, and writers keeping us informed and entertained. Creators give us
That's
hope.
just being edgy to me. That's just
Like,
being
I
we
mean,
need it
it's
the
not edgy.
most.
It's like it's an appeal to something. I don't know what it is, but they're appealing to something. And
You
it's heavy.
canceled everyone, and now you expect those canceled people to not cancel you out? Sorry, that's not how it works. Karma.
karma. Yep, karma's a bitch.
Hmm.
Right.
It wasn't
And this-
supposed to be this way. At one point, the internet was looked upon
Internet
as
was
a
looked
symbol
upon
of
as a
hope
symbol
for
of
creators.
creators.
Mhm.
Right. That's one thing. But here's the thing. Like, you kind of know as well, Patreon, to get to the whole amount of dodgy stuff they've done, you've got to know that Patreon has been canceling the accounts of and all that stuff and the payments due to content creators because they're of a certain political bent.
Excuse me.
Right. Not
And
to
that's
mention
why-
as well, like they also threw out some shady reasons as to why they shut down said content creators, citing "quote unquote" hate speech and other reasons.
Yeah, subjective.
So because of this, it's
That's the
More or
term
less.
that
it's more or less right.
that's the
though.
term that's the term I usually refer to. What most of the entire far left says is hate speech. Everything is hate speech to these people.
Right.
Yeah,
Here's the thing.
exactly.
Here's
Good.
the richest part I want to highlight first. Of course, there were DIY exceptions. I know context matters, but overall, the success of independent artists was limited by industry gatekeepers.
They
What?
literally call themselves gatekeepers. Wow.
Right, but
Okay.
context being context, that was the past. But now, being what's the context of a gatekeeper now? He who defines the rules.
Yeah.
So
So what went wrong?
Boy.
Right.
They should have been using a sniper rifle to take out certain people, but instead they decided to use a 12 gauge shotgun.
Yep,
Oh,
they shot themselves
yeah,
in the
right.
foot.
It's spraying everywhere.
And they shot themselves in the foot. Yep.
That is
And
fair.
then,
What went
and then they're
wrong?
like, click. Hey, why didn't it fire? Points the gun at themselves. Bam.
It's pretty much, yeah.
Duck
It's
season.
like, what went
rabbit
wrong?
season, Duck
It's
season.
like, what
fire.
went wrong? It's like, what went wrong?
Everything.
You banning people that didn't do anything wrong. That's what went wrong.
They banned people for things that were said on other sites in private messages.
Yeah, like what's his name?
I think that's the reason why people stopped going to Patreon and started going to Subscribe Star on YouTube.
That's precisely
Yeah, well,
it,
I mean,
though.
that's like the whole blackmail culture. I mean, kind of the same thing actually happened to me when I joined the Furry Raiders in 2017, and my own local group ostracized me for doing such. Unfortunately, that's how it
here's the
is
thing,
with
though.
us.
Context being what it is, like the whole Patreon v subscribe stuff thing. I think there's also an element that Patreon still wants to hold on to being like the uncontested thing of funding campaigns for creators.
Right. Well, I mean, it says here like this is an ad-based business model, so like they want to try to appeal to people in the best way that they possibly can.
But here's the thing: read the first
I'm not
sentence
exactly
of the
to
what went
appeal
wrong.
to creators. Of course, they're pandering, but like, of course, they do need that ad revenue to continue.
Right. So here's the first sentence I'll read to you: the pioneers behind these platforms aren't evil. There are no cartoon villains here, and so on and so on. Like, I mean, that's
They're fueled
Come
by
on.
good intention, but what that really means is just they're fueled by profit. I mean, let's get real.
right. But there's got to be,
Hey,
you know,
our shareholders are angry at us. We need to write this letter so we can start making profits again.
Boo hoo.
That's
And-
literally what this entire thing is reading me as.
You're right.
Much, yeah.
Yeah, I think so. too.
Hey, we messed up, but we're not going to say we messed up. And all our people who work for us and who get profit from us making profit want us to make profit again because we're not making profit because you're all leaving us. So it's your guys' fault. Come back to us.
yeah, right.
boy.
Blame
The
the
word
advertisers.
what Patreon should be is like what the restaurants and other stores are like. Our honesty is the best policy, and the customers, or I guess you know.
Oh, and here's the good part though. Patreon also released a video.
Yeah, the customers are more important.
Well, here's the thing. We'll watch this together, like without the audio, but Patreon released a video. I'm saying, and look at the dislike ratio, 156 to 223.
Oh boy.
Where's the majority of the
I can
people that
already
they
tell
messed up?
this is filled with so much sarcasm and everything else that I literally... Yeah, exposure doesn't pay the bills, but that's what you pay your creators with.
Let's see. We got blue hair, fedora, a witch hat.
Well, look at the
Okay.
sources: the New York Times, the Washington
Wall Street Journal,
Wall
frickin'
Street Journal.
liberal.
Oh, there we
Liberal.
go.
Oh gosh, not that face.
Just
Look-
looking
look-
at these
look at these
people, I can
people.
tell they're liberals.
That's totally not
know.
fake news. Maybe.
She had a red bun. I'm just gonna say that, like, literally red. It wasn't even like red hair. It was the color red.
Man,
Oh, look at this.
Oh,
look
look-
at this.
look at blue.
Wait, what was that?
Lots
What
of
was
blue hair.
that? I thought I saw a furry. Hold on.
Yes, I'm certain I saw a furry.
Yeah, it looked like a shirt or something.
Oh, someone who has,
Is that
8
Corona Chat?
has like
That's Corona
1,000. There's literally
Shouldn't.
look at these people. They're literally taking like the best of the best people that were on Patreon and showing them off.
If this is it, though, then Patreon certainly isn't sending their best.
No.
I never heard none of these people, so that's saying much.
That's the thing, though. Patreon
I mean,
is meant for like,
Whoa.
yeah.
Okay,
I
wait,
saw fursuits.
I did. I yes. That's what I was all waiting about. What? Oh wait. What is this video?
Right, and I
Creativity
think
over
they
everything.
said creativity over all this stuff, gatekeepers, blah 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 blah, and
You're going way back to this.
Uh, There was definitely a furry in there.
I
Somewhere.
think so too.
Oh, there's Corona Shed.
I know that they went through this montage like super duper fast. It's not even funny.
Like you
I
have to
know.
watch this at quarter speed to actually watch everything.
Yeah, really, like frame by frame, basically. Well, whatever Patreon is doing. How are they gonna remedy this? Oh, that was it. Oh, fuck. Never mind.
Yes. Well, it's unfortunate I couldn't get the whole framing system correctly.
That's all right. Well,
Doesn't
how
matter.
are they gonna remedy this? Like, what are they gonna do? Like, who are they going to appeal to?
I don't know.
Right.
Lord.
Like, jeez. And look at, and for them to say this in light of, and they're not, and literally, you know, putting the whole, you know, I did no evil thing mask going on.
Yeah, right. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Good luck, Patreon. Seriously. In the meantime, we've got Subscribestar.
Yep.
I recommend, you know, moving your business over there.
Oh, really? Such that.
I deal in cash. I am the Grey Muzzle. I deal in cash.
Or Newgrounds.
No, you know what?
Yeah, yo, I love Newgrounds. I remember Newgrounds.
I
Actually, yeah, that would be a better
alcohol
option.
has
Newgrounds
become
used to
worth
be
more
like
than gold.
the thing.
Like, is the thing for internet denizens.
I left Newgrounds, but you know, I still occasionally go back there for certain Flash games.
Yo, like back in the day, like 10 years ago, Newgrounds was the shit.
It was the shit, yeah.
Hell, even like 15 years ago.
Yep.
I hate to say 15 years, but like, yeah, when I was like 12 or whatever, I'd be on Newgrounds. Like that was where it was at.
Dude, the freaking the 2000s was the era of Newgrounds. That's the
It
thing.
really was, yeah.
Yes,
That
it was.
Flash
And
player.
now that it's coming back, you know, freaking who needs Patreon when people can just go back to Newgrounds? Like, we gotta rediscover our old loves.
Yeah,
That's
really.
I agree.
But yeah,
They're playing those stick figure looking games.
Yep, I remember those.
Yes, I remember those.
Those were fantastic, especially the there
Yeah,
were specifically two.
I
There was
thought
Storm the
that-
House, 1, 2, and 3,
I
and then
saw-
there was the other one where you could use your mouse and pick them up and just slam them into the ground.
Wait, are we talking about stickdeath.com?
nah, Newgrounds.
I-
Newgrounds
I-
do its
I-
own
Newgrounds
stuff.
Flash games.
I saw Markiplier playing that game Escape from yada yada. It's just one
I mean-
guy. That
I mean,
makes these
still,
games like Escape
you
from prison, Escape from something else. So it's like
Right,
stick
but I know
figure.
Newgrounds, good times for all, and it might just come back with a vengeance for creators, by creators for creators, way better than all the
Yes.
stuff that Patreon ever did, and at least they're
know-
consistent.
Whack your
I feel
boss.
like in the future we should probably have an episode dedicated to Newgrounds.
Yeah,
Just
but-
all nostalgia in
Yeah.
regards
Right.
to that. That'd be kind of cool.
Oh well, we'll think of something.
I wonder what the thing was with the Whack Your Boss games.
I don't know.
I'd say. Anyway, so I guess that is that for the week. That's the time we've got. One by one, who's gonna wrap up for the week?
Beowulf.
Oh,
Me? Okay, I'll start out. I'm Jack Lowell, Trades Master of absolutely nothing. I'm gonna try streaming this week, maybe.
Mm.
Maybe, actually, probably gonna stream some later on today.
I think
Maybe.
it's a good opportunity, if nothing else.
Yes, it's not gonna grow my channel at all, but you know, whatever. I don't really care.
At this point, you just gotta take whatever opportunities because everybody's stuck here. And, you know,
I'm gonna try
Yeah.
and start streaming more afternoons as soon as I find a game that I can actually get into.
Wonderful.
Because otherwise, I just want to pile drive my face into my desk because I've played everything to death. Cry! I need my new games to come out.
Sound
Either.
designing with Serum.
All right, Earth.
And thanks for having me.
Mhm.
I don't have much to say really, besides that really. So,
Okay. Sparky.
I don't have anything else to say, but except I've been doing a bunch of stuff this week, like using Serum and sound designing.
oh, nice.
hey, fun.
Cool.
That's good.
That's good.
All right.
And Inu.
Making
Just saying, the show is not sponsored by Steam or by Super Animal Royale. It is the funnest game I have ever played in my life, and it runs great on even older computers like my own. Dude, if you got it, get online, buy it, and play with other furries. It's a furry inspired game. It's cute, and there's AK-47s.
I want to say,
what else could you ask for?
That's what's keeping me sane during this 3 weeks that I've been in the house. That and my brother is staying with me, but still, I made him play. We've got 2 computers side by side right now on the desk.
I think maybe I want to come up with a word an Umer word for furry trash or something. But I can't say what it is yet.
I can't decide which one. I can't decide which gun I like, if it's the AK-47 or the Thompson.
They've got both of them.
The one where do you mean the Thompson where you have the front grip and you have the drum barrel? The
Yes,
old one?
sir. And they have the rail guns where it just continuous fires. And then they have handguns. And they've got skunk bombs. And they've got bananas that you can make people slip and die.
That is fucking trash tier right there.
I love it.
Maybe just
that they
call it
come
like
up with.
rotten furries. At that point, when
Yeah.
you're so far gone, you're just fucking rotten.
I love that game. I absolutely love it.
I'm talking about that. I'm talking about the Tommy gun that everybody knows about the most, which is the one with the mobsters use. You have the front handle grip.
We know what the Thompson gun is.
Yeah.
So anyway, in that case though, Avira.
Yes. Well, today is Good Friday, and I hope that everyone here is, able to spend it with their family in some capacity. We're looking forward to Easter Sunday. This is a very holy week.
Indeed.
Of course, yesterday we know was Passover. So for
Never
all,
forget what the Easter season stands for.
Right. Yeah. Of course. Well, rebirth. Of course, that's when Jesus was resurrected. So I
His
hope
death.
that all of us are just taking precaution and just take this time to be with your family and just enjoy the holidays. As much as you possibly can. And we always love doing the show, and I hope to see you next week.
Yeah. Oh, that's the word I was looking for. Frumer.
There we go.
There we go.
As a frumer, I should tell
Thanks, Vinny.
you
Thanks,
that
Vinny.
don't
All
be
right.
a bad person, or the Easter Bunny will leave an onion in your basket just like Santa Claus. They're
No,
engaged with each other.
no. He won't leave an onion. He'll leave something that looks like Cocoa Pebbles. Just don't eat them.
I see what you went there.
Big Bermuda onions.
So, there it is, though. What a week it's been. What a news cycle.
Yes, it has. Yep.
Love it. Fantastico. And as a reminder to our viewers in quarantine, tune in. Give our show a chance. Give it a listen. We've got hours and hours of content, so you won't be bored. It'll take you days to go through it. And yes, so our episodes, as always, are available on Podbean, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, more later on, and our YouTube channel is here to stay, no matter what happens.
I like
So,
that on grand though. That's pretty good.
This
Cool.
is, of course, as always, this is us signing off for the week. I hope you all had fun listening as we did making the show. Farewell, and until next time.
Bye-bye.
Oh!
Bye.